Hello. Today we have someone that is so amazing, so fierce, so powerful, so sultry, and so soulful. We have the amazing Teresa Griffin.
Times. How you doing?
I am doing amazing. I am. You are looking amazing. Okay. I'm
So
this
are you. Thank
hair.
you.
Now, see, I want my hair to just go up and out, but I
Girl,
can't do it.
it's that Napa pill that's happening when it does that. Because
Oh my
my hair is
God.
tangled in here. So it's a lot going on.
Right. What do you put on it?
Oh, I use the olive oil, just simple olive oil, moisturizer, and there's this other African product that I use that's rice and water. It's like rice water.
Right.
So I use the both of them. I wash it, thickening my edges and everything. Because as you know, the older we get,
Oh my goodness.
start to thin a little bit. Let me move this over here.
In
We
a little bit, and this, and color get more colorful. We got to get more colorful.
so yeah, put a little touch here, a little touch there.
Oh,
But those pieces, those are pieces. That's not that ain't none of me.
okay.
The grayage. All of it. But when you start seeing gray and other colors, like yeah, that's she did well. She did well. So shout out to my girl Nakeba. Thank you for keeping me thick and great.
And beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Okay, now it's like we're paying homage to our late sister Angie Stone. I always wanted my hair like hers since I was like, ooh, I can't even remember since the Angelo song came out that
Oh,
long
Mahogany
ago.
album. She had, I remember the Mahogany album cover. Uh,
Yes, that album cover was Life, right?
but I've been wearing froze for years. I've been
Yep.
froze and I love big hair. I
Yeah.
think I'm from the big hair generation. The new generation, they got the long weaves. But
Oh, everybody want to look like a little non-black girl.
yes.
Barbie. With the little waist, like Barbie really had an effect on this generation. Okay.
Oh my God, oh, we need to beat old Barbie, but yes, she
And we
Barbie,
like, no, honey, we're gonna keep it in real ancestress.
okay, really the brat doll, but not quite,
Right. So this voice of yours is iconic. It's a one of a kind. And I'm gonna tell you, when you said get in the car, listen to it, and drive, I did not know that I was gonna be missing all my exits.
Oh my God, oh my God, what a
They just take
compliment.
you away. Like you're driving. It's like you want to drive. I'm out in the country. So like the country compared to being right in the city of Atlanta. So I can drive through all these trees and you see nothing but land. And when you listen, you just go to another place.
Oh gosh, that's exactly what I wanted. I just know that as a musician, we spend a lot of time in cars. We actually
Yeah.
learn music that way, because you're listening to it over and over again. But when you are in Chicago and when I
Uh,
when I hit the
see
expressway,
buildings.
you know what I'm
Don't see
saying?
nothing but buildings in Chicago unless you at the lake.
The buildings, okay? And I actually have a place by the lake, but I live in the suburbs
Okay.
as far as like with my husband. So when I'm driving in, it could be a good 45, 50 minutes if the traffic could be an hour with traffic. So
Okay. So you are really in the suburbs, like for real.
definitely, definitely. And so I want to hear something that I can listen from the beginning to the end. I'm from the era of give me a whole album, not one with two songs on it.
Right. Oh my goodness.
I want the whole thing
Yeah,
because
what happened to that? Like back in the day, you know what happened? What happened was when artists were being produced and when they had artist direction and artist creativity, then we were getting the whole album because you had someone else saying, this is a good song, this is a good song. But the newer artists who haven't sold any records want to decide what the people want to hear. And no, it doesn't go like that. They don't want to listen to anyone that has expertise, no matter how much experience they have. The newer people, they got this. That is why we're getting one or two songs.
Mm,
I
I never,
think that's
I
it.
didn't, I just thought that maybe the industry had changed so much that they wanted quick hits. You know, it's like I want this needs to be a hit so we can when we pump this song out, if it works, then we'll come back and do an album with the artist. And that's kind of what you
Oh yeah, the one hit wonders.
the one hits, and it's like, okay, well, if this hits, great. You know,
Right.
we made a lot of money off of this, then we'll put the album out. If it don't hit, no, no file, no whatever.
We'll
And
just keep playing this for the next 3 years. The only person who dragged that album out was Brandy. I remember she had that one single for like 3 years. I was like, is this the same album?
the same. And you know what? That's really, I think, the mentality that I took on with this particular project because Will Downing was like, you probably just don't drop them all at once. And I was like, man, how do I do this? How do I separate the love that I put into this project?
Right.
I was like, you know what? I'll drag it out. You know, as an independent, it cost me so much more money to do it. I'm not this conglomerate of a record label. So
Right.
I'm going to finish my project.
Right.
And for grown people like me, we deserve our dollars deserve a whole project, and some of them immediately. It's like, when is the rest coming out? Well, I don't want to make you wait. Go ahead and buy it because I know how we are. If a bill come along, you might not get.
Yes, I hate when people wait for the whole project. I'm like, just put the song out. Why? Because if people aren't expecting that you're gonna do something, like you got to give them, you got to feed them, spoon feed them piece by piece. Then the anticipation is greater for the rest, in my opinion, in my humble opinion.
I'll say this.
I'm like, put the single out.
A lot of grown folks was like, I want the whole thing. So I kind of did it both ways. I had this
Yeah.
ready. We started feeding this last year, with Beautiful Liar and Mr. Hennessy. And they
Yeah,
were like,
and you had Beautiful Liar. I had another person who wrote a song called Beautiful, and I was like, "Did you collaborate with somebody?" And he was like, "No." It was a beautiful song, but I thought he wrote it for someone else to sing. But
oh,
he wrote it based on a relationship that he had, and it was called Beautiful Liar, and it was beautiful. But I never heard that title before. You and him had that title on lockdown, and your song was so absolutely breathtaking. Not I'm not gonna look in case he's listening. I don't know if it was as breathtaking as no, I'm just kidding. But it was. I'm not taking that away from you. It absolutely was. And it's just your voice, though. Your voice is like when you're grown and you go and you want to hear somebody sing and then you want to order a little drink and have a little conversation, maybe, like that's what I want to hear in the background. Have you ever listened to music where you can't even get your thoughts out trying to have a conversation because the music was
what's
so
going on?
disturbing? You
Yeah.
like, oh my goodness, I can't even hear you. Turn it off. You like just turn it off, period.
Look, some of the stores now you go into with your girlfriends when you're shopping, you
Yes.
really want something that's relaxing.
Yes.
The music be so loud, and I'd be like, can y'all turn that down and turn it? I don't know what the
The
hell.
restaurants everywhere. I just be so annoyed. And I told one restaurant owner, I'm like, dude, I was across the street and I listened to this. I'm hearing this music. I don't even want to go in there. I'm like, I don't even want to eat there now because if that's what I have to listen to when I first walk in the door, no. But it's that music that will make people turn and walk in there. It's supposed to make you want to shop, want to be in your thoughts. And there was a time that music was the key to our life, like our childhood.
Oh
You
yeah,
hear certain songs and it takes
definitely.
you right back to third grade, to fifth grade, to eighth grade, to prom, to your first time, the first kiss. That's just what music's supposed to do for you, not
Call it the soundtrack of your life.
the soundtrack of your life.
That's
That's
what
what
you
it,
want. That's
that's
what
what
you
you
always
want. And
wanted.
that's what you gave the people.
Thank you. And that's then I'm good. Then I'm
Yeah,
good.
job well done.
I
Like,
want to be able to
let's
say,
get some
hey,
more.
yep. And I want them to have more. We have after visiting Stevie Wonder's radio station about a month ago, they found another song on there. Thank God that they love I Want Him to Be Mine. and not the remix version, which is what I did with Terry Hunter remixed it. And
Yeah.
and we had like a Grammy consideration for it. And so I was like, that's cool. And then as we were doing the video for it, one of the dancers was like, well, the regular version came on the non-rich, and she said, I like that version. And she was like, are we going to also dance to that version? I was like, no, can you dance to that version? And she was like, yeah, we can do expressive dance to that version. So I'm like, okay. So with Stevie's uh, program director saying he really liked the song, I'm like, then I know what my next single is.
Right.
And I'm writing again. So I'm starting to hear the next project.
Right. It's
How
like this chapter of our life, you just want to do what you want to do, be free to do it. And if you love it, other people will too. It's about taking control. I don't know what it is as we're aging. Someone told me the other day, this is the oldest generation that there's been so far, but everybody is living the longest.
Well, you know what? That's because we don't care about all that other stuff. You know,
Right? And
and
eating
it's
better
probably
and
because
just
we've
being more
learned to.
natural.
Yep, we are more organic. And I also think that some of the worries, is that close? Some of the worries that we had initially, um, prior, I don't think this generation is worrying that way. Um, don't get me wrong, we've had our share of slew of deaths, especially coming out of COVID.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Oh, but COVID took every age range.
Oh
COVID
yeah.
there
No prisoners.
no prisoners. But I think
It
this
did not discriminate
at all.
at
But I know
all.
that personally, I said, well, I'm coming to an age where weight will be harder to get off. So I'm gonna concentrate on having my best health. Uh
Yeah.
I look at, my health chart more. I'm
Right.
conscientious of that
Dude.
thing. But I've always been into my teeth and
Right. I'm
I
buying potassium pills. Like, when
all
I
of that.
start buying potassium, caring about my potassium.
Okay. And before it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I remember my mom was like, oh, I have a cramp in my leg. I'm like, where that potassium here? Where the potassium? So it's a lot of different things I think this generation is doing. I just wish that this generation could actually get their hands on music that we love, and that music played to us a little bit more
Right.
than it has been, because I do feel like music is a soundtrack to our life. I do feel like that it gives us an emotional outlet. It makes us feel love. It defines us in a different way. And I think that's what's missing. They stopped
Yeah.
shopping to grown people before,
Yep.
when they were like, oh, this is what you need, because this is grown folks music. It wasn't called grown folks music before. It was just music. But this was
Right.
a music where I was excited about getting grown and getting older. You know,
Yes. I couldn't wait to get 35. I don't
you
know
know
why
what I'm saying?
35 was like, I just thought 35 was just gonna be it. Like I was gonna be officially grown.
All of that.
Now I look back, like, what was I even doing at 30?
Think about. I looked at, I even with the way my mom dressed and some of the women dressed, I couldn't wait to get to that era where I could dress like them, as opposed to this era where they're trying to dress like their kids. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not trying to dress like anybody's kid. I want
Yeah.
the kids to say, I want to dress like her. When I get to her
Right.
age, I want to look that good. I want to look that fly. I want to look that sexy. I'm looking at the internet and hearing them say, "Oh, Mary J look good for her age. Mary look." You're looking at that and you're saying, "Wow, you right.
Right.
Y'all look toe up. What y'all doing wrong?" Okay.
Yeah. What are y'all doing? Why are y'all looking so old? Just stop smoking all this weed and everything they're putting in it.
Oh, don't tell them to stop smoking the weed. Just stop
No, the other stuff they're
them
putting in it.
BBLs. Look, them BBLs, girl.
All the BBLs. Oh my, gone wrong.
And I think if you need an enhancement, it needs to be like a small enhancement, nothing that, because then if you get it crazy, then later on, where you gonna work at? Hey, just inch up on it, like just
Yeah.
on a little bit, a little something, little. But when you do it, bam, it's like, girl, you ain't got nowhere to go. You
I had
just
an
to hold
interview
it,
with
you fix your
Dr.
booty already dragging. You done stretch the skin already. It's
I
gonna come.
know, it's just horrible. I had an interview with Dr. Miami and I said, I went to an event last night. I felt so out of place. I said, every woman that walked in the room had a little waist and nice hips. I said, what is going on? Is something they're eating? He's like, that's not genetically modified. Like, you're not genetically born with this tiny waist and big butt. He said, no. Every woman you probably saw like that have had work done, but they all just duplicates,
Mm.
duplicates. Everybody was looking the same.
Everybody's the same. It's like the Stepford wife
Oh
syndrome,
my
I
goodness.
call it, the Stepford wife syndrome. And no, I'm
And I thought we was leaving the baby here in 2024.
girl. I had to get rid of the jail first, but they fight
Yeah.
for it, baby. You're not no baby. You can't look like that and have baby hair. So you're not no baby. So I don't know.
I'm like, what
Are you
happened?
in
That's
competition with
not
them children?
cute. Who handed out the certificate and said that was beautiful and let's all do it? I want to know who's
Fire
responsible.
them. Whoever did it need to be fired. Okay. Whoever came up with baby hair, I want them to be fired. Baby is
Maybe
over.
you're over. What age we gonna give it? Over 40? Over
Over.
30?
It's over. It's over now. Just forget it. Just forget it. When you no longer a baby, you don't have no more damn baby hair. That should be the rule. No
I
baby,
don't
no
even think
baby
I
hair.
gave my baby's baby here. I don't even
Okay. It's
remember
like no more.
doing their hair like that.
It's called edges. It's
Right.
quit making
I
up them
remember the
edges.
first time I wanted to get a lace front, and she was like, "Oh, we need to shave your edges off." I was like, "What?" I said,
Hell,
"Oh, no, we're not." I said, "I got edges." That was like my pride and joy to still have edges. I said, "We're not doing that." She's like, "Well, you have to have it." I said, "Okay, well, it just won't lay right, but we're not shaving my edges off for a wig. Girl, bye."
girl, take that
I put
off.
them back on with the wig.
Heck no. Heck no. Heck
Let's
no.
talk about this music. Let's talk about this music. Okay, the inspiration behind a new project, just being grown.
Living life was part of it, honestly and unapologetically. Writing a project about what I knew, which is love, in all of its forms, even when it hurts, even when it's disrespectful. Um, but at the end, love. You know, um, a lot of the songs are definitely about somebody who is in love or who has been in love. Even with loss, there's a song on there, when you lose love and how unfair it is. And, you know, um, we have to deal with that part because that's a part of life. And as I lost half of my band and really a lot of my work team, that song, just kept coming up. And it was the last song that we finished on the project because I had to come back to it because there was so much hurt inside. And then there's, the sexy love, wetter is better. As a grown person living that, I just needed to deal with that part because sexually they think that we become inadequate older we get, and that's not
Right,
what happens. Um,
right.
you know, um, it's the different parts of love, and then I listen to so many different artists and have so much respect for them. So on that song "Rain Weather is Better," I listened to the emotions and did the backgrounds as if I was an emotion.
Okay.
Love them and I love how they boogie Wonderland and wondering if
Yes.
I'm about you. So I'm doing and I'm doing my backgrounds, and I'm thinking of them, and so um this entire project definitely was written from a grown perspective, from a respect of music and respect
Yes.
of artists that I've admired over the years, and but giving them Teresa 100%. And that's, that was my inspiration behind it. And also the song that people are falling in love with when you're around me, was, my husband got really sick during COVID. He caught COVID and could have died. It was a really scary situation. He didn't know
Right.
me. And then having him come through it, and then one day he passed by me, he brushed against me, and I was like, I fall in love whenever you're around me. So
Aw.
that's
So you're definitely the hopeless romantic.
I am. I, I
Now,
am.
are you
That's
a
reality based.
love type of person, like love unconditionally or love with forgiveness? Because relationships are not perfect, right? I mean, and a lot of people now look at marriage as more of a business than a relationship wise. It's like, okay, especially when they started all that, what you bring to the table. And, it's just that everything, like that's another song I want you to write, what you bring to the table. And I want you to do a song about menopause.
Oh, baby, I
I
promise you,
want you to do a Southern
those
soul song. And
those were
then
two
I want you to
beautiful.
ask them where the fans at a whole
You
different.
know what? Damn the fans. When it really come in, did I step in hell? Because it's hot as hell up in here. Okay. What happened? I'm sweating. I'm sweating. I'm hot. It's a lot going on. Don't touch me.
It's like, is this
That
just me or is it hot in here? Like I
what
was
hell? What
excited
happened
out of
over here?
nowhere. Like it's warm and everybody's like in a jacket. And I'm like, I feel like sleep. I'm like, well, how are you? Your arms aren't cold.
Can't eat, can't sleep. Now I'm
Oh
cold.
my
Now I'm
goodness.
hot.
In my scalp, it starts right in the scalp.
Girl, I don't know where it started. All I know is when it starts, I am done.
But I
Okay.
need you to write a song for us to break it down so the men
I am.
understand.
When
So the
somebody
men
wrote us
know
a
that they
time
are
and a
not
month,
the only ones.
I'm gonna write what happened. What had happened was, okay.
Some of them, I think some men think the women are like being hypochondriacs because a
Some of
lot of
them go
times
through it.
they're not understanding. They're like, yeah, she said it's the menopause. Like they're like the menopause. Like what? No.
Some of them go through it as well. They go through menopause. It's a different type, but they do, and they be hot, and my husband likes to sleep with in the wintertime. He don't turn no heat on, and I'm like, what the hell? You must be going through something.
Yeah,
On
just
the
freezing
fan,
everybody in the
going,
igloo. Like,
yes,
what's
yes.
going on here?
So I promise you the next project will address those things.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait because no one's, I'm like, so it's the elephant in the room. I guess nobody wants to admit their age and that they're going through it. But it's like, we need sisters. We got to unite and go through this together. Let's talk about it so
As
I
we
can feel
as
better
we
about what's
go through
happening
this,
to my
go
body.
through this, we're gonna have to maybe have a girl club.
Oh my goodness,
There's
we
no
are like a
shame in
girl
it.
club. I talk to so many people, especially when I'm on the red carpet. As soon as I will ask the celebrities when they're like this, I'm like, it's a menopause girl. They will say, baby. And they just like, and they want to talk about, they're like happy that I mentioned it. Like, you understand, because it's like we don't want to talk about it and we think it's just us, but it's like,
Project made us
I need you to
ashamed of it.
just break it all down on the next project.
I promise you, I'm not. It's probably I'm
It's
finding.
gonna be number one. That's the
I am
hottest
not
word right
ashamed
now
as I
on
fan,
social
as I
media.
hot, as I sweat, because I brought you here. I put you in this world. You're here because of me. Don't make me apologize for being me. Take this sweat. Oh yeah, we'll address it. It'll be cute.
Yes, I'm
It'll
telling
be a
you, it will do
testimony. It'll be like
numbers.
that black brother. I,
Right,
it'll be that vibe, okay?
right. Yeah, I think that needs to be the side single. And maybe it won't be on the album because it's too early, but
A single.
I'm telling you, it will be number one. No one else has a song called Menopause. Nobody right now. I don't think. I'm gonna look it up.
What you
We
gonna
gonna
call
look
it?
it up and do some research.
Pause.
No, we got to get those algorithms on the social media algorithms. See,
Okay.
I do everything for the algorithm so that it travels through the social media
Whatever
way.
you say, but
Right.
the song gotta have the word pause in it.
Oh
Because
yeah.
it's pause for the cause.
You are hilarious. And see that all this beauty and all this wonderfulness reflects in your music because you're doing it from the heart. And like you're a storyteller, you're a natural born storyteller. And that's what music was really about at one time. And some of these stories they telling, honey, I'm like, how was your life? Like, I cannot even relate. I'll be getting anxiety, like, what? Shot who and did what and pistol whipped her
I
and
know
like,
we don't want none of that. I don't even want to hear nothing about a
and
pistol.
now them lyrics get people
Not a
behind
gunshot.
bars. They are
I'm over
getting
all
on trial, locked up because of them lyrics. Like the police is knocking at your door because of your lyrics. You know something's got to change if that's the
quick, fast, and in a hurry.
case.
Thank you, Janelle.
Yes, it was so wonderful today to talk to you and, just get it out. Teresa Griffin, everybody, I want you to go to teresagriffinmusic.com and download these songs. Go to Spotify, go everywhere, and you will see the beauty in what I saw, and you will listen to it. Listen with your ears and your heart, okay? And don't be on the phone when you listen. Just listen to the words that are coming out of her mouth, and you're going to be like, where has she been all my life? Good music is good music, no matter
All
where
the
you are.
time,
You
everywhere,
can't
no matter where
understand
you
the word.
are.
No, no matter where you are, it's good music. And bad music is bad music, even if it's in French,
No matter where you is.
German, whatever. If it's bad, it's bad. Oh, look, it was like something else, but that's a whole nother podcast. That's a whole nother interview. If it's bad, it's bad. Oh, I like that one too.
And when it's horrible, it's horrible. And we don't want to hear it, we don't want to hear it, period.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. And you have an amazing day.
You too.
All
Bye bye.
righty. Bye bye.